Good morning and welcome to the NuSpecian Live. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Aston. Good morning.
Thank you for coming to the Q&A. For those of you who are new to NuSpecies, I'll quickly let you know we're a natural health company. Aston invented our formulas over 20 years ago. All of our formulas are raw, organic, liquid, natural, herbal medicine, plant-based supplements, some not so plant-based supplements. And we have been working with clients for over 18 years if you just go from the time that Aston incorporated NuSpecies. And in that time, we've learned so much because so many of you are in the medical system. You're receiving medical care. Makes sense. But you also want to empower yourself naturally. You want to improve your lifestyle. And we help bridge that gap. So we've developed a pretty powerful integrative health counseling consulting practice along with using our nutritional formulas. And we hope to empower your body to be as resilient as possible against some of the toughest of health challenges, as well as helping you. What our mission is to help you live better and longer. So thank you so much for being here today.
Mhm.
Our agenda is what's on your mind. So feel free to go here into the chat and say good morning to us. Post your questions. They can be about NuSpecies formulas. They can be about NuSpecies as a company, our mission, our brand, what you should be taking, what doses you need, questions about health issues. If we
Still getting dressed.
if we know the answer, we'll tell you, and if we don't, we won't. But we will let you know either way.
We'll find the answers.
Yeah.
If you need answers to your questions that we don't know, we don't know everything. So if you need answers, we will find it.
Yeah. And we will disclaim that our babysitter canceled on us last minute this morning. So our kids are here in the office somewhere. There's a chance they might interrupt us, and I might just step away briefly, and then Aston will have to take it from there. So that's the only thing that could potentially happen. Otherwise, we are operating as usual. All right. I am trying to find this prayer that we're going to read. In the meantime, Aston.
So,
Not yet. Yeah. In the meantime, Aston, I was hoping you could talk a little bit about this new sphere of
right,
NuSpecies.
right.
While you're getting ready to answer your questions, we're going to
Well,
talk to you today about.
a lot of you have asked me, a lot of new species, a lot of clients, and even family members have asked me about the the whole aspect of, we're doing physical health. Our formulas help to rebuild the body, rebuild the brain. The brain is where a lot of the stress takes place that cause us to get sick or cause us to get more sick if we're sick already. So a lot of you for many years have been asking me to refer you to therapists to get help with stress or mental health. A lot of you bring your children to me as young as 5. They have all sort of issues, including ADHD. Some of them are really bad. They're dysfunctional. Most of those kids they're in teenage universe, and they're stressed out by school, high school or college or graduate school. A lot of you kids are extremely smart, and their smart can also cause them to have mental health issues. So we've seen the whole range of that. And then there are those of you who have serious health issues, and you don't know, but we know these serious health issues you have. It could be blood pressure that's not getting better, your diabetes, it could be cancer, it could be tumors, cysts, it could be medication causing grave side effects. And you're all stressed out about all of that, or each of those things. So what you don't know that we know is that a lot of times you're getting worse because of stress. You're getting, your conditions, your blood pressure get worse because of stress. You, your diabetes, your cancer. And I can tell you, I know of many of our clients who have passed. And they pass very quickly. They would come to us, and within weeks or months, they're gone. And when I look at their lab reports, their CTs, their MRIs, I could discern that they pass so quickly, even surprising or shocking family members or friends. So they were driving today, they were laughing and talking, and I'm sure you have friends or relatives who have been like that. I know I do. My father, before he died, he was cracking jokes, literally cracking jokes, like not even 20 minutes, 15 minutes. He was cracking jokes. And then he was gone. So we know that stress will make certain conditions way worse. And we want to start giving you education on all of this. So what we have done is that we have developed a process that is based in physics and chemistry, which means that the foundation is true, is right, is accurate, and is based in medical science, is based in neuroscience. Medical science is based in, physics, generally, in chemistry. So we want to start giving you some education and training and how you at home can help yourself with your own mental health, with stress, with having more control over your mind. And we call it the spirit field. And so I have written up a lot of stuff, I've written a book already. It's over 1,000, probably about 1,500 pages, based on, I think Jill is going to read something, or she's going to ask me to read something. And all that I've written that's on the website, there are probably half a dozen or so articles that are on the New Species website in the blog that you can go off and read when you get a chance. And it's based on the books, and it's based on mental health. It's based on managing stress. So we believe that a lot of this stress, you can manage it at home on your own without spending a lot of money, unless you have excess cash to spend. But we believe that you can do it. We believe that every person can do it. We believe that even children can do it if they take the time and they have the right guide or guidance. So we call it guided meditations. Yes.
Oh,
Did you
I
find?
wasn't trying to say anything.
Okay. So you wanted me to read a poem, or you're going to read a poem? How is it going to work? So
So I would read one. I would like to read it if you don't mind.
okay.
So Aston has been plugging away on this Bible, basically, for many, many months now. And I don't typically ask to read what he's doing while he's doing it. But he has started pumping out some of that content onto our blog. And so I'm like, I guess it's time for me to catch up. But I've been reading some of the work he produced, and I think it's really beautiful. I love.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love the using science to um you know to explain a lot of what we feel and what we want to create, and how a lot of that is within our power, but it also has the spiritual aspect of just touching your heart and your soul. And I think it works for people no matter what your religion is, even if you don't are not religious. It doesn't require God, but I think it stands very well with God. Um, and so I think that it can really be helpful to everyone. But it's to me like what did I call it this morning? I can't remember now what I said to you.
You said a lot of things.
Yeah, like well, I'll get the words right. But we've been talking a lot about how we can always serve you better and how we can help our clients. And one of the hardest things for us to deal with, and especially Aston, because he's talking to all of you every day, is to hear the suffering, to hear the mental anguish, the spiritual anguish. There are many people who don't necessarily reconcile their suffering well with their religion. There are some people who do. Their religion brings them a lot of solace, but for a lot of people, the way that they've practiced for years isn't working for them anymore, or the way that they've connected or communed with God or the universe
Are
isn't
there children or grandchildren?
sure.
It's
Well,
across the board.
right.
Yeah.
Isn't really working for them anymore. And so un- maybe they'll figure that out. They'll talk to their priest or their guides or their mentors, and they'll eventually figure it out. But in the meantime, we obviously have our own hardships too, and we've been through a lot in the last year, and it's certainly added a layer of depth to our spiritual journey as a family and as individuals. And so, if we can help you bridge that gap with what we've created, we'd love to. If it becomes something that means everything to you, then that would be wonderful. But we feel like that is one of the last spheres missing from what New Species provides for you.
Hmm.
And so Aston really dumped a lot of it onto the blog. Some of it he wrote really for himself to grieve lost family members and
My parents.
major changes in his life, but a lot of it is really universal. So let it be to you whatever it is, whether it's a mantra for your meditation or just something you say to bring you a moment of peace. Maybe it's something you say to give you a transition that you need in your day or in your week, in your life. Um, I'm hearing the distraction I warned you that we might have. Um, so before I read this poem, Aston, if you want to add on to what I said, I'm going to go take care of that.
Well, what Jill just said is completely accurate. I'm not sure if I told all of you, but I know some of you know that I've told you one on one that my parents died over 20 years ago, and I did not grieve them. I wanted to grieve them in a way. I didn't believe I could grieve them during the time they were sick, and dying. Of course, they died at different times, but I didn't believe that I could grieve them properly because it was so much stress. It was so much seeing a family member suffer, you know? So I wanted to grieve them in recognizing their contribution, not just to me, not just to my siblings, but to the community, to the church that they ministered in. So, so I waited all these years to be able to write something that memorialized their lives. And I have what I've written on our website. I've shared it with all of you. I'm sharing it with the whole world. And what I've written is my memorial of their life and their contributions, and to the community and to us, the family. And also what I write is their legacy, meaning that when I look at me, I look at my kids, I look at my nieces and nephews, my siblings, the grandchildren, the great grandchildren. I see my parents in them. So I guess I could have written it years ago, but I write it now because um, it's when my spirit or my soul, as Jillian referred to it, moved me to do it, and it was just in the past probably month, about a month ago, I actually grieved the death of my parents, and in grieving, it was honor. I was honoring them for what they have done for me, what they have done for my siblings and their children, their grandchildren and great grandchildren. They have great grandchildren now. So this is all part of it. This is not different from it. It's a whole package put together for mental health, spiritual health, soul health, spirit health, physical health. And the last thing I want to say is anyone who doesn't have balance and stability in their mind and their soul, you 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 likely won't live as long, as you won't be as healthy and you won't live as long as you would have wanted to. And and if you look back at your parents and grandparents years ago, how long they live, just look back at their lives like I look back at my parents, and you'll see how happy they were in their communities. On my end, it's small communities where everybody knows everybody. We would go out and the streets, or go out in the community, and we have to say good morning to every person, every adult we see. And if we see them 10 times a day, we're going to say good morning 10 times a day. You don't walk by an adult and not say good morning. So we feel that we were being parented by the entire community of adults. That's the way it was for me growing up. So for me, that's spirit. That's consciousness, that's spirit, that's love that can't be quantified or measured by science. So science will dismiss that. But you lived it. You experienced it. You're aware of it, right? So that's what this is all about.
Yeah. I think that's why I remember now I called it like science prayers.
Yeah.
Because as you know, we're like big science geeks, and a lot of Aston's development of our formulas was to have supplements that actually obeyed and helped foster the rules of our physical world, which is physics and chemistry, or quantum physics, or whatever you want to say. But if we obey those rules, we can get our physical body aligned. Now, science is, to me, is one with the spirituality or spirit world, because it's really just what we can explain or measure at this time. But there's so much more we don't understand, but that doesn't mean it's outside the realm of science. So maybe it's all one. And that's why I like the blending of our unique perspective in the world, which is very science-based, with our spiritual experience. And that's where I feel like we get these science prayers. But it's basically saying like, okay, yes, like we can have faith for everything else outside of what we don't measure or understand. But we also can have faith and find a lot of power and comfort in science, in the stuff that we do know. So we can use it all. There's no reason to limit what we have, what tools we have at our disposal. All right. So here's a prayer I chose when reading through Aston's record, and Mary's brought it up for you to read, to see as well. All right. The Psalm of the Event Horizon. At the edge of the blackness, where light bends and time grows strange, there is a boundary unseen, and they call it the event horizon. It is the place where the known gives way, where certainty dissolves, where the mind trembles because it cannot see beyond. So it is with the human heart. So it is with the human heart. There are horizons in us, moments we cannot predict, doors we cannot open with logic, days where the future becomes dark. And we fear this edge. We hear the wisdom of the cosmos. Even the horizon is not the end. It is only the limit of sight. For beyond what we see, the universe still obeys its law. And beyond what we can know, life still carries meaning. So let me not worship fear at the border of the unknown. Let me stand at the edge with dignity. Let me breathe at the boundary with calm. Let me love even when I cannot understand. For the star does not ask what comes after its last light. It simply gives its light while it can. And the black hole, though it seems eternal, still fades in the great patience of time. Therefore, O soul, do not collapse in panic at the horizon of your uncertainty. Stand, breathe, shine. And if you must pass into mystery, go as a star goes, not in defeat, but in completion. Amen. And then, so thank you, Aston. That was very, very powerful, because many of you know that feeling of staring at that event horizon, the metaphorical one in your life, when dealing with a health issue, especially when getting a diagnosis, when a sudden turn happens after you've been in remission, or when a medication stops working, or when someone else in your life is sick. These are all moments where, Like as Aston says in the poem, we can worship fear. We can get lost in fear and panic, but we don't have to.
And this, I didn't make this up, people. It comes from you. After 20 years of doing NuSpecies, some of you, if you've heard me say, NuSpecies is a university for me. And everything I have in that book comes from you. So some of it happened with my grandparents and my parents, but then I see the same thing happen with my parents and grandparents happen to you. So we're all the same. We're in the same boat rowing to that mystery. We all are. And it seemed that way, but we all are. And we need one another.
And just so you know, Mary could put the link in the chat, but that is available on our blog, along with many other beautiful psalms and prayers and mantras and processing of different sorts. So if you want to read them yourself, you can go there. It's free. We will be creating a small pamphlet of a selection of these, and we will sell them digitally on our site for anyone who just wants to own it outright. You're certainly welcome to just work off of what's free on our site, but if you want to support our work, obviously, many late nights and early mornings, I fell asleep with the glow of Aston's laptop writing these. This goes well beyond the work we do every day. And if you are able to and willing to support that effort, you'll be able to purchase a version of this on our site. And then eventually we will publish the whole book, and that would be available too.
All right. Again, this is from you. It's all that I have lived with you, your grandparents, your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your children, your grandchildren, your friends who you refer to us. All this that you see in the NuSpecies blog at nuspecies.com, it comes from you. All I had to do was to codify it, to write it down, and use it to help you, and use it to help other people out there in the world who desperately need help. All right, so read them, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And again, a lot of you have asked us for this for years, and I told you early in the year that we're working on something for you. This is part of it. This is just one step of what we're working for you to help you live better and help you live longer, and not just you, your family, your friends, your coworkers, everybody around you, your community. That's what we're about. Yep.
I just want to say good morning to Natalie and June. Hi, Doreen and Richard. Hi, June. Oh, again, yep. Headley, Fitzgerald. Hi, Maxine and Donna, Trevor. Thank you all for saying good morning. Thank you all for being here. Those of you who can't chat, maybe you're driving. It's okay. We feel your presence. We appreciate it. So we're here for you. If you have any thoughts, any concerns right now for your health, for the health of a loved one, feel free to chat and ask us what's going on. For what let us know what's going on, and we'll be here to help.
And if not, we're going to talk about something else, our pamphlet that we have started working on for you.
A different one.
A different one.
A referral pamphlet.
A referral pamphlet. A lot of you, as as Jillian knows, a lot of you have been telling me, it's I spoke with a gentleman on Friday. Yeah, Friday, and he was a client back in. I asked him to join today, so I'm not sure if he's on, but he was going to join and ask his three brothers to join. So I spoke with him on Friday. He was telling me how he had prostate cancer in 2009, and he was in his late 30s, early 40s when he developed, he got prostate cancer that young. And his father died of prostate cancer. And he was telling me that he has three brothers who also have prostate cancer, and his three brothers have done surgery, radiation, and they're not better. They're still sick, and they're really worried that the medication didn't work and what they're taking is not working. And he's been trying to refer them to NuSpecies since 2019. And they did not call. They did not go to the NuSpecies, website. They have done nothing. So he's saying to me, I need something to give them that I can show them how NuSpecies can help them because they're not making that connection. So that's what we're working on, this flyer for all of you, for all of us, to be able to give it to someone and say, this is NuSpecies and this is how NuSpecies can help you. Because for the entire existence of NuSpecies, you all have said to us, you have talked to family members who never called, who never came, and some of them end up dying. And it's not your fault, and it's not their fault. The way we humans are, you have to make a connection. You have to see that something is going to help you. A lot of us are like that before you take the time and the effort to check it out, right? So it's not their fault and it's not your fault. What we're going to try to do at NuSpecies is to give you something that you can hand to them, small little flyer, and or you can send them, you can email it to them, text it to them, WhatsApp it to them. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to give you the tools to get friends and family members to, if they can, get help from NuSpecies. That's what this flyer is all about.
Yeah, June is agreeing that would be really helpful.
Okay.
Yeah. So, while we still figure out how to make all these points really clear on our website, which is probably where they go, and on our app where they go, and then they don't feel clear like how this connects to them. We're hoping we can just write it really clearly in this pamphlet, and we'll be putting them in all of your shipping boxes, all of your bags when you buy in store, but they'll also be there for you to grab a bunch as well. So, and if you have any other unique way that you think you could spread the word about NuSpecies that you want us to address, we're happy to customize. So, Fitzgerald, I actually have a question for you, and I know you're listening. I keep meaning to call you, and then I forget. But
What did you call him?
I said Fitzgerald this time.
I thought you called him.
I know he
Fitz.
agreed that I could call him Fitz. I know, but then I got insecure after that. But yeah, I have an idea for you. So if you don't hear from me in the next few days, can you just call and get the team to transfer you to me? Because I want to ask you something.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you have a business or some way where you communicate with a lot of people that you'd like to tell about NuSpecies, and there's something we could like sponsor that you could give out, let us know, and we would love to do grassroots marketing in that way, because we're not as excited about formal advertising. Thanks for saying.
What was that?
I don't know. Aw. I'm laughing at Fitzgerald's comment.
Oh, okay.
You're welcome. All right. So, folks, if you don't have any questions, I have something else to bring up to y'all, see what you think about it. But as you all know, Aston and our team all provide a lot of consulting services. We do it all free. You just pay for the products. And then our job is to make sure you get results, whether it's through guidance on our products, lifestyle changes, spiritual guidance.
All of the above.
We'll even write the darn prayers for you, whatever it takes, right? But there are folks who really do want a higher level or more detailed, I should say, consultation with Aston, where he reviews labs and basically gives a NuSpecian perspective on your overall health. This takes up a whole lot more of Aston's time, and so it's not something he can just do for every single person all the time. But it is something for special cases. He would be open to scheduling a more in-depth appointment with you for a fee. So that is something we're going to put out there for those who may benefit from that. There may also be people who aren't regularly on the products, but they do value Aston's opinion and they just want ongoing guidance for their overall medical care. And so maybe they're not currently buying products, but they want to pay for consultation.
Right. And like the gentleman on Friday, he is he has prostate cancer, but he has other issues as well. Why he comes to NuSpecies, or comes back to NuSpecies. He was asking me he wants to collect all his labs going back to 2005. 2005. That's 20 years. So he's going to collect them and he's going to bring them in, and he would like NuSpecies to read through all those lab blood tests, urine tests, MRIs, the whole shebang, and give him an analysis and a summary of what went wrong, why he has done so many surgeries and has taken so much medication for over 20 years, and now he feels like he's dying when he walked the medical road, and he feels he has done everything he was asked to do medically, and he's just reflecting and saying, something is not right. I did everything, and now look at my brothers; they did everything, and he has himself and his three brothers who are very sick, and he's very worried that they should have made a transition to something else or in addition to what they're doing years ago, and it may be too late. So he would like me to look at all those medical documents. And as you all know, and we know it as well, if you go to your heart doctor and you have kidney issues, you have liver issues, you have brain issues in your labs, they probably won't even mention it to you because your heart doctor is focused on your heart. They're not focused on giving you medical advice and treatments for all these other things in your labs. You all know that. That's why a lot of people have 3, 4, 5, 10 different doctors. Okay. So, and all these doctors are not talking together. They don't have a conference like we're having now, Jill and I with you, and talk about things. They're not doing that. So we're all in trouble. And if we don't take action, we will just get worse over time. And I'm not going to say it's the doctor's fault. I'm not going to say it's the doctor's fault at all. I'm going to say the medical system could do a little better because medical science is really good. Medical science is really, really good, but it's not coordinated.
Yeah, the system that it's operating within, or that your doctor is operating within a system that's very rigid in how he or she can do what they do. Even if you wanted to pay them to give you this assessment that Aston's offering, it doesn't work with their schedule. That's not a service they provide. And Aston is not a doctor, but people have relied on him for very helpful assessments or analysis. And in all of his experience, he's worked with so many people, not just people who, like, if you go to your doctor, you're going to get information about a drug you should take or about, a surgery that you might need. And you're going to be asking your doctor for that kind of advice. But when you have someone who backs up and looks at the bigger picture and is also considering your desire to have natural solutions, which your doctor isn't going to factor that in. I mean, most doctors won't. Some doctors will say, sure, if you clean up your diet or if you do this or that, maybe you can come off your medication. But in a lot of cases, they're just not, like I said, they're working within a system that doesn't give them the time to walk you through all of that. Whereas if you value Aston's opinion and you want to know what he thinks about your overall situation and have you walk away with a list of questions to talk to your doctors about, a plan with a list of tasks you need to complete to get yourself to that next level, then that is something Aston could provide. So we'll be letting you know more about that and the scheduling that would be available and the pricing, if that's something that would be helpful to you. Like I said, the majority, well, all of our clients have already been getting the results they need with the way we already operate. But there are outliers where they need more, and it just hasn't worked with our current model, where we do need to book the time and set it aside for them. So I was actually thinking, when you had mentioned they wanted to do all the lab review, we still have locked away in one of our offices safely a box about this tall and this wide of every year of records from this person's life. And he dropped it off in Bronxville. And if you're listening, sir, please, we've been trying to reach you to see if you want to come back and get this box.
I know who he is. I can call him.
We've been trying.
He's doing a lot better.
Good.
So he actually did exactly what you just said.
We just don't want to keep it because it's not,
right.
We don't want responsibility for your lifetime of records. And normally
we could destroy them, but we don't want to do that
that that's usually our process is we'll just shred. If you leave labs
Yeah.
behind, we're going to shred them because we
Right.
don't want to keep any of your confidential information on premises. In this case, though, it is a lifetime of records that we can't destroy. So please, sir, come and get it.
Yeah, it's a lot of documents,
Yeah.
and but he's doing better.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, he brought that box to me, and he said, I would like the doctors say I'm dying, and there's nothing more they can do. So he brought them to me after he had spent 3 straight months in the hospital and not getting better from the issues that he has. So he brought them for me to do exactly what you just stated.
Mm-hmm.
And, thank God he's doing a lot better now. He's traveling, and he's doing really well.
I think
But
he
we
was the original impetus for our thinking of like, gosh, should we be offering another sort of service
yes, he's one of them.
to have
Yeah.
time to go through all of this
Yeah.
stuff?
Because people
And-
need it. Most people who have complications need it.
Yeah.
Because um I had a client on Friday, who actually it was Wednesday, a lady who was taking this medication that is causing, that's what, the doctors told, the sons, causing her blood pressure to be dropping to the point where she passes out. And the family members can't understand what's going on. She's taking medication for diabetes, not going to say what medication, because we're not being up on medication. Medication works. We see where medication works. We know medication works. So if we make a statement, we're not saying medication is bad. What I'm saying is that for this lady, the medication caused her to pass out, and she's older,
Mm.
and then the family members don't understand what happened.
Right.
So they come to us, and we're saying we're not a medical company.
Mm-hmm.
You have to talk to your medical practitioners and send us the labs and to find out what went wrong. So a lot of you have complications, and you're taking different medications, and the different medications, they can conflict sometimes, or they can cause other issues sometimes, and that's where you need us. A lot of times you don't react fast enough to it until you're suffering really, really badly with some serious health issue, like another client who has kidney failure because of medication. But it's not the medication that's bad. It's just her conditions that led to the medication causing the kidney issues. So that's why it's something that you all should consider. And you don't have to do it with me or NuSpecies. You can go out there and find somebody else, find a doctor. There may be doctors out there who are willing to do that for you. We're just saying that it's a need that a lot of you who have complications have, and you probably don't know.
Just a comment there. Hi, Austin. Some of these doctors just don't care. While a small amount of those who really do care. I observed that 2 weeks ago with some doctors. If you want to say more, please do. I'm not sure if you're saying you observed doctors who do care or doctors who didn't. I'm sorry. That does really suck. I do find it hard to believe knowing the training and the investment people have to make to become a doctor. It would be hard to believe they would do all that and then not care. But I also can see an example where they're working in a system that is not designed to be care forward as far as, the human connection between you and your doctor, where they're just like checking all the boxes, running through all the symptoms, filling in the chart, and then just saying, here, this, and then they walk out of the room and it's rushed and it's frustrating. Maybe they just don't have a great personality. That could be possible, but they are working in a system, and you're one of maybe, I don't know, 40 people they saw that day.
And that was my thought.
And they're just wiped
and more
out.
and more to go.
And they're working in like windowless rooms and these like fluorescent lit stark environments with like no heart at all.
Tiny room as big as this desk.
And they do that day after day after day after day. We watch all these medical shows or these doctors work in these like fancy, beautiful hospitals and stuff, but like the majority of doctors don't have that experience.
No.
Like it isn't this prestigious thing that it seems like it is. It's really, really hard, grueling, difficult work. And there are a lot of people who come in, other patients who are just like, what's my dose? Give me my meds. And they walk out. Like they're not even really looking for that. So I could see where doctors just become like glazed over after a while. Now, are there probably some who really don't care? I mean, maybe they've gotten to that point. Just can't imagine you'd become a doctor and not care. But again, you're the patient. So it's not, I mean, you can be compassionate, but it's not something you should be patient with. If you're seeing a doctor who you feel isn't seeing you as a human and isn't caring for you in the way that you deserve, you do need to get a different doctor for sure.
Where it hits some for all of us is when you come to us and you have high blood pressure and it's bad. The blood pressure is bad, or diabetes, or cholesterol, or cancer. I have clients who refuse to do radiation or chemo because it make them so sick. It's sad because you need the medication and you don't want to feel like you're dying from taking the medication. So we get it. And the hardest thing for us to do is to tell you to continue taking the medication that's making you dizzy, making you pass out. And for some of you, again, who come to us, your doctors have gone through different medication and those are not working either. So a lot of you are stuck in a really inhuman place. And it's going to be easy to feel that the doctors have no compassion. But what I'll tell you is that we have a lot of clients who are medical doctors and they suffer like anybody else. And some of them, the medication doesn't work for them like anybody else. So it's not you alone. It's a lot of people. So call New Species, and that's why we have this company. I personally think it's a wonderful company. It can help you to support your body. Even a lot of you who come to us, you tell us that New Species is your medication, and we just chuckle because for you to say that and feel that way, it's a statement not about New Species. It's a statement about the medical system you're walking away from, right? So you know we will do the best to help you to support your body, especially when the medications are causing side effects. And if you have friends or family members who are not taking their medication, bring them to us. Don't send them to us. Do like Fitzgerald, put them in your car and drive them to the New Species office. That's what Fitzgerald and a lot of other clients do. Or Fitzgerald, what he would do, easy on,
Yes.
he would pack them in his car and drive them to us. And if they don't want to come, he'd buy for them and bring it to them. The last time I saw Fitzgerald in Bronxville, it was just incredible. He he left with like 3 or 4 bags. You know the big New Species bag.
Is that the torture he was asking to end for him?
Probably.
Not having any
And he said, "Okay,
pamphlets to give people, and
this is for this person, and this is for that person, and I want them to get their points, their reward points." And he would, when he comes, he's there for at least an hour and a half, just sifting through the different persons he's buying
Wow,
for.
I know.
And you're an amazing person, Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
And there are many clients like you out there, Fitzgerald. But to see you do that is it just show the great human you. That's why we keep doing this. It's because of clients like you why we keep doing this. Otherwise, we probably would quit years ago. Don't bother.
We definitely want to feel like we're being helpful. That's the only reason we do this. I do want to remind all of you that the discount we're doing this week ends today. If you want to buy in store, despite what the ticker said, I did choose to extend it until tomorrow if you're going to buy online. So I might send another text tomorrow. I'm trying not to send too many texts and notifications. I don't want to upset anybody, but or make people unsubscribe unnecessarily. But I think I'll try to send another reminder tomorrow. But if you want to buy in store, you do need to buy today. The 15% is ending today. If you buy online, the code is winter15, which you'll also be reminded of that at the top of the website, so you won't have to worry about remembering. Yeah.
So we have helped a lot of people over the years, over 20 years, with a lot of different issues. My last count is that there are about between 16 and 19,000 different diseases that are recorded worldwide. We've helped a lot of people with a lot of those issues. So if you have friends and you have family, drive them to NuSpecies, or call us when you're with them and conference them and let us talk with them. That's probably what you could do until we get you the flyer. Hopefully, in another couple weeks. Jillian is working on it, but I can tell you she has 1,000,001 other things she's working on.
This is
So
most important. As just highlighted, Joan Salazi saying good morning, and she's also someone who refers a ton of people. And
Yeah.
we'll make sure we get you a bunch of these flyers as well.
Right. So in the meantime, just call us in conference. You know, anywhere they're in the world, you could get on WhatsApp and call them, and then call us and conference them in, and let's speak with them. Maybe that's the best introduction you could make. Probably better than a flyer. Probably better than giving them, our phone number. And I'm saying this because, again,
Or send them the link to the Q&A and get them on here so they can
right,
ask their questions directly to us.
right. The gentleman on Friday, it really hit me that,
Mm.
he said he's sick and he doesn't want to die, and he has three brothers, and it's horrific. It's a horrific situation, and that's why we create, what we create. The mental health he's going through. I'm going to introduce him to what some of the stuff we're doing to help with stress, mental health, stress. Help managing the mind, managing situations around you. So those of you who don't know what stress is when the hormones. Stress can doesn't have to be mental. It could be you just having a health issue like blood pressure, diabetes, causing stress in the pancreas for diabetes, stress in the blood vessels for high blood pressure, stress in the lung and the heart and the pulmonary arteries and veins for high cholesterol. That's stress. And when the body has that stress that you may not even be mentally conscious of, when the body has that stress, it creates hormones like cortisol. Cortisol shuts down the immune system. The immune system is what's needed to fix the diabetes, to fix the blood pressure, to fix the cancer, to fix the cholesterol. The immune system is what's required to do that. So the cortisol is suppressing the immune system. Those 18 or so white blood cells you see in your blood report, they're being suppressed and they become abnormal. That's what cortisol and other stress hormones do. But it's worse than that. Now, the next stage that's going to happen is that the testosterone and the estrogen, one of each or both, they cause sick cells to multiply rapidly. So now the cholesterol will get worse, the blood pressure will get worse, the diabetes will get worse, the cancer will get worse. That's what we see. So that's why having good mental health, stress management, that's why we're doing that, to help you to have your, not have your body get obliterated by a condition that you can fix, that we can help you to fix.
And at least help you stay more resilient while working
Yes.
on that.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's a really, really harrowing journey emotionally and mentally. Even when you know you're doing everything you can physically, your mind really can just take you down.
Oh, we've seen it.
Yeah.
We've seen it. I've seen it with family members, close family members, with friends, and I've seen it with, with our clients, how it will take you down. And you don't even know it's taking you down. That's the other thing. You don't even know what's taking you down. You're getting worse, medication not working, doctors can't help you, and you just see yourself fading away. And while I'm saying that, I am seeing faces of new species who came to us too late, or who didn't do what we asked them to do. And it's a very desperate situation. So let us help you, and let's help your friends and family. We're not perfect, but we're going to do the best we can.
I even have, had a family member who had to do chemotherapy, and, I was like, well, this is where you are right now. This is what you need right now. And she was still able to use NuSpecies. She didn't have to stop that. And I said, but if you do need chemotherapy, then it doesn't make sense to be fighting against it, to be afraid of it. It's going to be what it's going to be. You stressing over it and fearing it is only going to make it worse. And so I said, what you can do is, while you're sitting there in the chair and this is going into your body, imagine it flowing through your bloodstream and killing cancer cells, or, neutralizing cancer cells. Imagine it doing what it will hopefully do in best case scenario. Imagine that happening beautifully, wonderfully, with permission from God, or whatever you need, because you're already there. It's going to happen. If you were going to turn away chemotherapy, then you would have done that. For whatever reason, you are still choosing it because you believe your doctor or you don't believe enough in natural only. Wherever your mindset is, you're here for a reason. So accept it and fully embrace it and bless it, because your mind actually does have the power to create that chemistry within your body to make the treatment more effective.
Right. And that is so powerful. I didn't know how powerful the mind is until I started delving deeply into physics and chemistry, but more so physics. The mind is so powerful. I used to hear my grandmother, part of her legacy, say, if you think it and you keep thinking it, it's going to happen. The
Mhm.
self-fulfilling prophecy.
Mhm.
And it sounds so superstitious,
Mm.
so mystic, so magical, meaning not real. But believe me, the mind is so powerful. The Bible says that the world, the universe was created out of nothing, right? Guess what? Every major religion on the earth believes that. Nothing. So we have our minds, and right now we're thinking, we're conscious, we're aware of where we are and what's happening right in this split second right now, but we can't touch the mind. We can't physically touch it. We can't see it. There's no instrument on the earth that can make us see the mind. That's how powerful it is. It is completely invisible, yet it's so powerful. So the mind controls what happens in our bodies, like Jillian was saying. That's what I have discovered. So we can use our minds to help our healing. And that's what we plan to teach you and train you on all that, information and knowledge we have. We're going to share whatever we have with you,
Mhm.
but you can get your mind to help your body to heal itself, because I believe that our body is living in the mind. I don't believe the mind is living in our body. And the reason why I'm sitting across from Jillian right now, the energy flow between her and me is telling me that my mind is way bigger than my little body, way bigger. And all of you who are hearing me right now, even if you believe a little bit of what I just said, imagine the influence it's having on you, whether negative or positive. That's the mind doing that. That's how powerful the mind is. It's like these invisible fields where all this information travel, all the energy, negative or positive, it goes both ways, travel. So that's why the people around you can make you happy or they can make you miserable, because your mind picks it up, digests it, and it either hurts you or it helps you, right? So those are the things that we plan to get into with you in the future.
Mhm.
And we call it the spirit field. Spirit field means is the balance that we need to stabilize our health and
This
and
coherence,
and the coherence.
which you're going to
Coherence,
read that a bunch in the prayers.
right?
This,
Right. Currents mean you have balance and you have stability. It's like Jillian wanted me to explain that. We have another probably 2 minutes. I'll do it in 1 minute.
and then we're going to bring on Nova and Leo to say goodbye to everybody.
Okay. So so think of oxygen. Oxygen is made of hydrogen, right? Oxygen and think of oxygen and hydrogen coming together to make water, right? Oxygen and hydrogen make water. So the reason why the water can flow and we can drink it and it won't make us sick is because the water with both oxygen and hydrogen, two different atoms, they balance each other.
Mhm.
They balance each other and they're stable.
Mm.
That's the key. They're stable. And you add a little acid, you add something in there, and it's no longer stable. So therefore, it's no longer coherent for us for it to work in our bodies to do, to give us oxygen or give us hydration. So coherence is in our bodies. We have to make sure that our bodies are functioning so it can support itself. We just give it the foods it needs, give it what it needs, it will support itself. And if we put bad things in there, it's going to throw off the balance. You know, the biochemistry is going to get thrown off, just as how you pour some acids or pour some bad stuff into the water and cause the water not to be no longer balanced the way it's supposed to be. And it's not stable because it's not balanced and it's not coherent, meaning that you drink it could make you sick, right? So that's what balance and being stable in our bodies and minds and our soul, our spirit. And the coherence is when they all cohere, the balance and this stability, they work together, and we need it in our bodies to live better and longer. And then when we have balance, we have stability, we have the coherence. The last piece is resonance. So um you all see Jillian a lot and how she laughs is because I always think of her as being she's always resonating with a smile or laughter and all of that. And that's what we all need. We all
I hope
need
he'll remember that when
we
I'm cranky.
we all need that stability in our mind and our bodies to enjoy the moment. Enjoy that moment. And the more moments you can create and enjoy with friends and family, the more you can do, the healthier you will be and the longer you will live. And all that I've just said in great, great details are at newspecies.com in our blog.
Do you have
Yes, I will remember.
do you have, just like you said, when you have hydrogen and oxygen together, it creates a molecule called water? Do you have a term yet for this metaphorical molecule that we become when our spirit and mind and body have cohered?
New species.
Aha, okay. Okay, we become a new species.
Yes.
I
You
freaking love
become
that.
you become the species that God intended to be.
And then we pass that on to
The
our
legacy.
younger generations, whom
Yes.
you're going to meet right now. We have Nova and Leo here. Nova and
Okay.
Leo, come say hi and say bye. Wish everybody a good weekend. We had to bring the children to the office today because our babysitter had an emergency. So, hey, I'll take Nova and you can go to Dada. Say hi to everybody. We're going to say goodbye and wish them a good weekend. All right.
Here's
Look, Nova, look
Leo.
at the camera. Say hi, I'm Nova.
Say hi.
You want to say hi, I'm Nova? I'm
Camera's
Nova.
over there.
Hi, Nova.
All right,
Say hi,
everybody.
Leo.
Oh.
Hi.
Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. We will see you next week.
I hope this was helpful and thank you for joining. And we're going to keep doing this, giving you as much information as we can so that you can live better, you can live longer, your friends and your family.
Hi, Nova. Bye.
Bye.
I'm from
She's a new host now.
Your turn will come, Nova.
You can take over next week, okay? I say bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.